Good afternoon, my good friend. This is Dr. Cherry from the Arid Zone. As you can see, I'm feeling a little bit better. Today, I went for my third COVID test. I had two where they use saliva, but today they use all stuff. So I should be getting the final diagnostic within the next 24 hours. So I will let you know if I was right from the get-go when I told my doctor I have pneumonia. Give me some antibiotics for pneumonia. Instead, he gave me the right medication 3 weeks later, so I suffer through hell, which means I'm due to change this doctor. As you all know, I am a soul doctor. I am not a traditional physician. But as I said in my other video at 71 years old, I should know what's right, what's wrong with me, to not just intuitively, but by checking my own symptoms. So it's always a good idea to kind of, double check of what your physician is saying. And then if it's not good, just kick his ass. All right, so the title of this newsletter is Trump Impeachment and President Biden's Stars and Fate for the US and the world at large. It also, of course, involved the SOS to the world, which we are moving into rapidly a shocking, unusual type of windows. So if you, once again, if you read my SOS to the World Plutonic Deadly Window for February 2nd, 2021, and you watch the YouTube video that I generate, all my warnings and the latest Plutonic windows can only confirm all my vision and all these dramatic deadly predictions that are collected there for you. So because this is such a very important and unusual newsletter, you will have to click on the link which is provided and read all about the stars and fate of our president. Okay, it's critical for you to do so because you may not be visual, you may be audible, which means because of my accent or because you analyze every word I said, you're not fast enough, your UCI is too different than mine, you won't be able to connect. So by reading, you will assimilate better the information. And as you all know, currently Mercury is retrograde, okay? So affairs of the past, a chain reaction accident, problems with your technology, flat tire, miscommunication, your appointment being screwed up, mammals, birds, GPS being completely confused, going to the beaches instead of the open ocean, the entire deal. Something, again, I repeat myself, that created Titanic, the Lusitania, sinking, including the shuttle explosion that killed 7 courageous astronauts. So that is what Mercury retrograde is all about. It's still in motion, which means you will be more able to assimilate my spiritual work. Now, every single of my windows, if you took the time to watch my YouTube videos, to watch my radio show, my TV shows, my YouTube video, it's there each time. I'm telling you, be ready for earthquake at or above 6.0. And of course, this window was produced too. One on the 7th of 6.3, and on the 7th, that was yesterday, I believe, a couple of days ago, we had a 6.0. So we had two earthquakes that definitely signified that we are moving away from that Plutonic, deadly, secret, sex, death, police, FBI being killed. Wake up call, we are moving from that window to a shocking, unusual, cosmic UFO, astrology, new age, explosive type of window. So remember again, I do not predict anything at all. Okay. All I do is that Like Nostradamus used to do 500 years ago, I'm using quatrain and very obvious keywords to tell you the type of news that's ahead of us. So you're going to see, if you keep looking, and I know you are, at my quatrain and my keywords, the news are reflected in those quatrains and keywords. So let me give you some example. Let me read the quatrain first. It's a Uranic window, shocking, explosive, unusual, whatever you expect. Something else is coming up. It's kind of an interesting window. So it starts with entrail upset, speed above. So usually there is much more volcanic activity. Entrail, speed above, okay, volcano. Red, fire, wind, water to dance. Now we're talking about tornado, okay? Stars, command, shock, science, calm, deception to strike, or earthquakes, and all these educated idiots out there, the scientific, our scientific community, who are wondering how the hell each time I give you a window, there are earthquakes at or above 6.0 that don't happen every day, or 7 point something. Again, you can click also on my communication with USGS and NASA when I give them very specific date for earthquakes above 7.0. You can read all that. Of course, they will never answer me because they're smarter than me. Meantime, I do better than all of them combined together. All right, the keywords, it's Japan, Asia, China, strange behavior, explosion, earthquakes, climate, airport, helicopters, and so forth. So let me give you an idea of what this type of window has already created. And then you understand me a little bit better, my friend. This rapper got a 24 million diamond embedded on his forehead. Strange behavior. I mean, people will kill you for $1, for God's sake. It ain't gonna take long for this poor young kid who had too much time, too much money, and a tiny brain to have someone who's using a knife to take this out of his head. So it's amazing how you can be rich and famous and at the same time so freaking moron, so ignorant. What is the ego of the human is just absolutely insane. Why would you put a $24 million right here? It's just like saying, kill me, get the diamond. In the world you're living, loaded with reptilious infected people that will kill you for $1. How long do you think it's going to take for this rapper to make the news? You just watch. Amazing. Talk about strange behavior. Man was killed at a baby shower after a celebratory cannon exploded. My friend, the word explosion is there. Children keywords is there. You don't just do things when you feel like. The reptilians knew exactly that what to do to lead this family to get a cannon for a baby shower. Okay. The next thing you know, okay, the baby is dead. The parent's life is completely upside down and changed. They're going to be sorry for the rest of their life because they are not cosmic conscious. Because instead of them learning, or their kids learning all about God, cosmic design, and how he speaks through the sign to us, they give him religion, or they give him scientific explanations. My friend, this is real. Those ETs, those nefarious reptilians are running the dance of evil, okay? And I worry about Russia. My gosh, I told you, if you've been watching my video for weeks or months now, I told you many times, I worry about Russia. Russia is going to implode. What is Putin going to do next? No, countries like Iran, countries like China are also plutonic. So when the Scorpius Dragon is going to hit, oh my God, this is why you should put your hand on my 2021 Nostradamus Dragon forecast and read at a universal and personal level how this dragon is going to get to you. Remember, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. So let's talk about some of this eccentric, explosive, unusual news. 177 people dead after glaciers burst through dam in possible climate event. Again, remember, sudden release of energy. This is what a Uranic window is all about. A sudden release of energy to create earthquakes, explosions. Here you go, right there. I'm giving you a quatrain. I'm giving you an obvious keyword. Yet you have those educated idiots, all those morons out there who will keep denying the reality of my UFO cosmic predictive legacy. It's there for you, my friend. And I'm so glad if you keep at the numbers since I start my YouTube video, more and more people are coming and more people are joining the Cosmic Code. So it's getting out there, and I thank you for sharing my work and help me to save precious lives, my friends. You know, unless you join the light, unless you promote my work and you help me to reach people, a lot of people are going to pay the price for not respecting the cosmic code or rejecting God's cosmic design. You know, because you've been trained to believe in the Bible or in the scientific accepted discipline, it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's real. What's real is here. What's real is me. What's real is Dr. Tree and his predictions. If you like it or not, if you investigate, you have to be an imbecile, a moron, an idiot, not to realize there is something in my work. And because the majority of you are smart, superhuman, the numbers of those who are joining us are growing endlessly, which is a good sign. And I thank you for that. What else do we have? Failed to name likely cause of Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. Remember Kobe Bryant? I predicted it. During the same exact window, shocking news, sudden release of energy, helicopter, plane, explosion. I mean, that was a shocking to the world for Brian and his daughter to die during that very specific windows. And he comes back into the same type of window because it's all energy. It's all about energy, like Tesla said. It's all about energy. And also Tesla said he knows there is a core which has all the answers. He's talking about the cosmic code, and he never uncovered the core. I did. And then that makes a lot of people pissed off. Instead of benefiting from my work and promoting my work, they're just being envious and they deny the obvious. But yeah, it's life. You cannot please everybody, and not everybody is the same. It's the beauty of being human. Some are superhuman and some are subhuman, idiots. All right, what else do we have? So remember, Kobe Bryant and his daughter died during the same shocking windows, and the word helicopters, aeronautic plane is mentioned. What else do we have? Facebook expand push to combat COVID-19 vaccine misinformation. But the key word is technology. Okay, now it's important for you to remember the Scorpius Draconis is aiming for every single people out there, every single radio host, every single talking head, every single conspiracy head who has promoted the evil. All those people don't know better. They are not cosmic conscious. All they have is their 5 limited human sense. They see life through their logic, through their fears, through their stars, and they are just regurgitating all this on you. And you don't know better because, you know, this person has a big show. This person's been doing it forever. And those people are not going to retract themselves. You know, I won't say names apart from maybe the top of the top conspiracy head of the David Icke. All he did for years is to promote conspiracy. Do you think he's going to get away with it? No, no one. And a lot of people who have invited me on their show will not invite me again. They don't want to offer George Nari or Tom Tyner. Okay, so all these people want to look good. They're not going to say, okay, Dr. Thury is right. And like him, I'm not going to be on that show promoted by Coast to Coast. You know, my career after, my integrity and the truth before Coast to Coast. Okay, that's what you get with me. The undiluted, vexing truth. And a lot of these people out there, a lot of these UFO talking heads, never seen a UFO, let alone talk to one who make predictions like I do. Okay, none of them are going to do anything. They want to lie behind the name, behind the greed, behind the false prophets, behind all these people who have lied to you for years, telling you that Trump was going to be reelected and COVID, you shouldn't worry about it. Okay, remember that. It's very important that you remember these people out there don't care about what they give you. That's why you have the gays being fed by all this conspiracy junk and quantum, all that bullshit, excuse my French. Stay with reality. Stay with the truth. Stay with people that give you the proof. For God's sake, you got to start to make sense to your own life and reject anything that is based upon imagination, fear, or conspiracy. And that's what the Scorpius Draconis is coming. He's going to do a very serious cleanup. And it started with Lou Dub, and all these people are going down their big position. So it means a lot of people are getting real scared right now because there is a lot of action taking place right now, like you see on Facebook. It's just the beginning. All these people will have to pay the price for generating negativity, consciously or not. Watch my predictions unfold. Watch all these people going downhill. Watch. All right, let's see what we have. New York man gets COVID-19 vaccine. He dies 25 minutes after. Obviously, this guy must be pretty old. He must have a lot of probable, most of all these stars. He might have a very strong negative Neptune, which means naturally, you will have a negative reaction to anything that is not natural, which is induced in your bloodstream. Okay, right. I still don't know if I have COVID or not. I don't believe I have it. That's what my intuition says. We're going to wait for the third test, okay? But this being known, I'm 71 years old, and I trust science. I'm not stupid, which means I'm going to go and get my injections, regardless of how fearful you are, regardless of how much you have been indoctrinated, how much you've been radicalized by all these people who believe bullshit, they don't believe science. Well, I'm going to be an example. I'm going to do it because I trust science, because I'm a smart person and I'm 71 years old. I know better than my own beautiful, loving 4-year-old wife. But hey, she has the right to express her idiocy and her fears, most importantly. But that's how it is. Okay. I don't know, Trump has stars have split, have divided a lot of friends, a lot of marriage went down the drain. And thanks to President Trump's stars. Not President Trump himself is a human being, he's like you and me, but he's not cosmic conscious, doesn't know nothing about his stars. Let's see what we have a little bit more interesting here. Woman who went viral for styling hair with Gorilla Glue goes to the hospital. Talk about being stupid. Talk about weird news. I mean, people we go to extreme trying to do things. It tells you the type of pinheads, okay, that you have out there. This the type of pinhead loaded with fear, loaded with conspiratorial junk in their mental makeup. Their psychical nature is completely poisoned. There is no rational, only fears. COVID-19 will end in 2022 in January. And as we are removed the very nasty negative stars of our president, more and more progress is going to be done. We don't have to suffer President Trump negative stars anymore. Okay, stars who are pushed us away from nature, away from the Paris Act, away from education, away from the laws, away from foreign connection, away from the fate of the United States of America. All those stars are being removed. And those stars also induce a lot of problem with minority, okay, in COVID-19. Remember, I always tell you, you like it or not, you know it or not, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thought. The most powerful man in the world had a thought. A thought was to put America in the box by building a big, huge wall. Mr. President, your wall does not need to be built anymore. It's been replaced by a psychical negative wall, which is called COVID-19. So you managed to actually put America in the box and the entire world. But that is changing because your stars are not affecting and cursing the world anymore. Again, to those of you out there who are connected with President Trump, I understand where you're at. I know exactly how you feel, and it's your right. It's your right to believe in your president, to believe in your fears, to believe you vibrate like him. A magnet will attract a piece of wood. If your stars are for sport, you're going to like sport. If your stars are for classical music, you're going to like classical music. If your stars are progressive, you're not going to be a Republican, you're going to be a Democrat. It's just part of your UCI, your stars, nothing to do with you or President Trump. It's the stars at work. And remember, I'm not a politician. I'm not on the right, I'm not on the left, I'm not in the middle, I'm an astrologer. That means I deal with the stars, particularly those of our presidents. Okay, pay attention, you have a lot to learn from a 71-year-old guy like me. What else do we have? A woman wins a 6-figure lottery prize, the next day she wins again. Is that shocking? How come her and not me? That's why a lot of people are going to say, well, maybe she subconsciously has the aptitude to stimulate the superconscious in time and space. You know, the superconscious, that's where God gets your heart beating, stops an infection. That's where God knows everything about you, from the hell you ever been, from where you're going to ever be, the superconscious in time and space. I wrote a 600-page book called Beyond the Secret. Maybe you should put your hand on it and naturally, like this lady, attract like, because a magnet will attract a piece of wood. If you believe, if you understand, if you have faith, if you love, if for the light, for education, you're going to upgrade and increase your psychical energy, and you're going to attract all the blessings that you deserve. Unless you raise outside of your darkness, your fears, your negativity, and feed in the reptilians. Remember, those entities who can only survive with chaos, death, and drama, okay? Unless you stop feeding those reptilians and upgrade the psychical vibration, you were never going to win the lottery, not even once, where people actually won it twice. So think and act upon your intuition. You know that little voice here? I never lied to you. You might have to learn to listen to it. But it all depends where you're at. If you're too indoctrinated, if you're too negative, if you're too reptilian infected, you can be salvaged. You just can't. You're part of this dark force now forever. And what's critical and what is absolutely terrible is that you're completely oblivious of it. You don't know. And that's why I made my movies on UFOs, my movies on astrology, to help you to raise above your station in life. All right, so get the book and make your reality. So President Joe Biden's state and stars and how it's going to affect the world. My friend, your president was born with a stellium, which is a hell of a lot of powerful energy, into the world of Scorpio, which is controlled by Pluto, which is the most powerful planet you can get. The smallest, the farther, but also the most powerful planet you can get. President Trump has a dual dragon, which means his dragon's head is in Leo and Virgo, which is on the cusp, is in between. You need to read every single information that I wrote about his sun in Scorpio, what it means, his moon in Taurus, which is a dignified position for the moon to be in Taurus, money at the bank, Switzerland, that will bring security, wealth, and solidity not only to the president himself and live in the White House, okay, but also in the country he presides over. In fact, President Biden's wealth legacy for the world at large will be one of the most solid that will benefit the US for the years to come. That's what I'm telling you. All these people that are looking at President Biden, the way he speaks and forget his words, there is no accident for him to do that, my good friend. Read the details. He was born with Mercury in Scorpio, which is extraordinarily powerful. But he's also born with the great malefic, which is Saturn, the most negative planet you can get in the sign of Gemini, and retrograde, okay? I doubt very much the scientific community will be able to relate to my information. But Saturn, the great malefic in Gemini, means that your president analyze every single words that he says because he has a deep fear of saying the wrong thing or things that do not match reality. So his thinking process is not limited. He's well ahead of so many of us. Read all the detail, educate yourself, and realize what the father of medicine said, that a physician without knowledge of astrology has no right to call himself a physician. And then you have millions and millions of people out there that are trying to understand President Trump or President Biden. Well, today you have a full explanation of what your president's psyche is all about and what he's going to do to the United States of America and to the world. And believe me, it's going to be extraordinarily progressive, where money will be pumping left and right, and you're going to feel more secure and more wealthy and more steady than you have ever been before. Remember, the stars, everything is written in light in the stars. Sudden enough, our leaders and 99.9% of the people of planet Earth are not cosmic conscious. They only have their 5 limited senses to see life how they see it through their fears. If they fear the government, if they fear power, if they believe you're going to end up in a concentration camp and all the rich, powerful people are sucking the blood of children, and if you believe, like David Icke, that Sandy Hook didn't happen, the Holocaust didn't happen, it's a shame for you to follow these people, to allow them to poison your mind. No, stay with the truth. Stay with the light. You know, there's so many crazy people around you. My God, there's so many ignorant, scary morons that are about to explode. And the reptilians are putting those guys in power, while the Draconics are putting people like me in power. But our ascension is much slower because this is how it works. You're not gonna go to hell. This is it. This is where you're gonna learn through painful realization, through wake-up calls, through the truth, through pain and through suffering. You should not and must not allow anyone that's saying something negative to affect you. Or if it says something negative, it has to back it up and offer you a new horizon, offer you light, offer you hopes. You know, when you're done listening to David Icke or any of this conspiracy head on radio or television, you're scratching your head 10 times harder, wondering what's next. Oh my God. And then you go, feed in the reptilians. Again, you're not yet aware. You may not yet understand the depth and the importance of my information about this group of extraterrestrials, my friends. But remember, all these so-called, those people were supposed to be the expert in the UFO community. They've never seen a UFOs. They're just regurgitating whatever they hear from all these reptilians infected lunatic people who cannot differentiate reality from fiction. That's the world you live in. That's why it was so easy for the reptilians to build over 875 different religions. When you have all this accepted as a solid discipline, how it is possible for people not to sign up for QAnon or conspiracy junk? Realize the world you're in, my friends. It's all about lies. It's all about the stars of the most powerful man in the world, which is the Father. Remember, I told you many times, if you are the father of a big family and you happen to be a Mormon or a witness of Jehovah or a Scientologist, because you are the bread owner, because you're the commander-in-chief, the entire family, or we the people, his children, we are going to suffer. This idiosyncrasy. This is what happened with Trump. His stars are so incredibly negative for the United States and for the world. This is over. The nightmare, it's over. Now the opportunity for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel is offered to you. You still have choice to make. You still have choice. You and me, like everybody else, regenerate through investigation. Wherever Pluto is in your chart, or Scorpio, you regenerate. Okay, that's how it is. So if you're an investigator, you are going to look for anything that allows you to regenerate, good or bad, real or not. It's just the way it is, how you regenerate. Okay, and then you tend at the end to believe it. Oh, that's what it is, because that's what your 5 limited human sense have accepted as reality. But there is something else. Now, Biden is a Scorpio, sign of life and death. This man went through hell. He was born with the head of the dragon in Leo, like America, July 4, 1776, head of the dragon in Leo. His other dragon is Virgo. Virgo is all about health, nature, clean hair, the Paris Act, the children, purity, Virgo, love, light, power, the king of the zodiac. Okay, Obama had the same Leo dragon. So when you have a president, you have the same dragon as the country. This is imposed by God himself for this country to rebirth into a level never experienced before. That is my predictions. And you ain't gonna hear that on Coast to Coast, who have lied to you for 4 years, telling you Trump will be reelected and COVID-19 is a joke. Now, all these people, I'll repeat myself, are targeted by the Scorpius Draconis of 2021 and 2022. And they have no clue what's coming to them. I am telling you what's coming to all of those people, consciously or not, who have fed the reptilians. The Scorpius Draconis is after your ass. And you're going to pay the price for your stupidity, for your ignorance, for your lack of integrity, or for your lack of having me telling you the truth or telling me what to do. Don't talk about Trump. Don't talk about COVID-19, Dr. Cherry. Don't. Yeah, that is the people on Coast to Coast. Now, you have choice to make. Okay? Again, my good friend, Trump stars are no curse in the world anymore as they used to do. The more he's going to fade away, so the more COVID-19 will. The more his stars get away and the more Biden stars take over, conjuncting the Leo dragon, the king of the zodiac. That's why God gave America a Leo dragon set in the second house of money. That's why America is so rich. Leo rules France and Italy. Remember, love and light. That's why we give you the Statue of Liberty. We are nations of lovers and artists. Affect our language. Leo. America has a Leo head. Biden has a Leo head. Do you realize the power of the stars? Do you realize what's ahead of you? What's ahead of you is America going back to where it belongs, leading the world. The greatest, most powerful, most beautiful country in the world that I call home. It's going to finally get its position as imposed by God. And this is why the reptilians get power to Trump. So you understand where you were and where you're going. Or at least in a couple of years from now, you'll understand Dr. Tree a little bit better when you see the reflection of the immaculate truth I represent, because I understand how God speaks to us. And again, God created the stars and the heavens for more than the sacred beauty, my friend. He gave them to us for interpretation so that we may lead a safer, more productive life. We are moving into the shocking news. The earthquakes have been there. I've explained to you all those news. The impeachment is going to take place during the shocking, unusual type of winds. So I'll be there to confirm that whatever happened will be original, explosive, and unusual. All right. Meantime, like always, okay, I do not know. I don't see the card. Okay. I don't see any of those cards. Okay. So I am going to pick one to kind of reflect the energy that's ahead of us. That's the Fool. See, the only card who has no number. So the card says, don't be a fool anymore. Don't be fed drunk. Stay with love. Stay with light. Stay with the truth. And be part of the solution. Do not be a fool, and help me to reach all the fools out there and explain to them the ultimate, immaculate, incredible power that has been given to us by God himself. Because humans are a little bit more than bone, flesh, nerves, and blood. We were born with the power to create our reality. So the idea is, don't be a fool. Realize, educate yourself, and stay with the light. Until then, God bless all of you, my good friends, and we shall see you again.